Hey, what's going on, guys? It's December, but we're getting into career mode finally. Some mods have come out, some patches have come out, and now is a perfect time to jump into FIFA 21. We are going to be doing the Tottenham Hotspur. I'm really excited to do this team. They're one of the big 6 clubs in England right now. And of those 6 clubs, the only one that has not won a title, although they do look very strong this year, 12 games into the season as of recording this. Tottenham Hotspur led right now by Jose Mourinho, but as you can see on my screen, I have decided to have Jose Mourinho retire or step down, something. You make it up. It doesn't matter. And we are going to have a club legend, Ledley King, taking over the Tottenham Hotspur. He spent his entire career, 323 games with the Tottenham Hotspur, and was capped for England. I think he 21 or 31 games. Apologize if that's not correct. It's somewhere in that range. A very good player, very good ambassador under Harry Redknapp. And, he did have a couple legal run-ins, but otherwise a pretty good guy and a pretty good player in his time. And on top of that, he is one of Jose Mourinho's, in real life, top assistants. Him and João Sacramento are his two big assistants. So I said, you know what? Let's do a club legend career mode where Ledley King takes over for Tottenham Hotspur. I'm very excited to do this. Being at December, you guys already know, and I'm going to actually take my headset off. I don't even know why I had this thing on. When you're testing audio volumes, you sometimes need your headset on, but I don't need it on. But anyway, as you guys know, the career mode's been out for a while. You know the training. You probably know the training. You probably know the youth development. You probably know all that stuff. So we're not going to go into great detail of it, but I have done some trainings already. As you can see, I'm already on July 4th, 2020. It seems like so long ago that was. And things like that. I've already set up development plans for every single player in the team. And I'll go through a couple of those, but nothing in detail there. And I've already set my 2 formations that I plan on using. The 4-2-3-1, which is a Jose Mourinho staple / English staple right now. That and the 4-3-3 and a couple other formations. I also have this 4-4-1-1, which is basically you could look at it 2 ways. It's either a more attacking version of the 4-2-3-1, where you don't have defensive midfielders, you have central midfielders, which kind of fits our team a little bit better. Or you could look at it as, instead of having 2 strikers, you bring one of those strikers back and now you have an attacking midfielder. However you want to look at it, both of them kind of get the same result. And I really like this formation, to be completely honest with you. I think it's a very fun formation and also underrated formation. I don't see a lot of people using it. Harry Redknapp used this formation during his time at Tottenham, along with the 4-4-2 and some other formations. I think he, at QPR, even brought out a 3-5-2. So I think this formation and this formation are going to be our mainstays, but we'll mess with formations all season long. Let's look at the squad, because I know you guys probably want to look at it. First off, let's look at Alien Joe Hart. What is up with this? This is terrible. It doesn't have any hair. Joe Hart has this luscious set of hair over here on the left, and this guy looks like, no offense, straight out of chemo or something. I just I don't know. If you're gonna not have his image in there, at least make it look a little bit better. I don't know. Bad image, but anyway. Tottenham Hotspur have 4 goalkeepers. Brandon Austin is a young prospect. Likely will not be with this team long term. I would rate him as a fringe championship starter / definite League One starter. Probably too good for League One, but he is never going to be Premier League caliber. In fact, I'm actually going to remove him from the loan list, and I'm going to put him on the transfer. Did I just put him back on the loan list again? I put there, transfer list. Brandon Austin is not going to make it on this team. We also have, as far as our 3 main goalkeepers, obviously Hugo Lloris is our top dog, but the problem with Hugo Lloris, if you don't notice, his age is 33. And when you go into development, he has a down arrow next to his name. And what that means is that this player is in the decline. So I'm basically trying to prevent him from declining as quickly as can. So I want the ETA to be as high as possible, so that way he won't decline as quick. But in 6 weeks, he's going to lose an overall rating, which means at that rate, he could be 85 by the end of the year, maybe even 84, fringe 84, and that is sad. I'm just going to sit here and say it. It is sad because Hugo Lloris is a good player. He probably is toward the tail end of his career. But then again, Petr played until he was up in, I think, 36 at least. So I think that Hugo Lloris definitely has definitely one this season, and probably next season still where he could be a top class goalkeeper. But this is a position we're going to have to look at in the future. His backup is also Joe Hart, 33 years old. There's really no reason to keep this guy on the team. Number one, he looks ridiculous, and number two, he's 76 overall. He's dropping just like Hugo Lloris, and he's 33 years old, and there's just really no reason to keep him on the team. Then you have Paulo Gazzaniga. He is a solid prospect. Again, kind of that fringe Premier League starter. A backup is what I would call him. For those of you that might have some crossover with the NHL game, they have, fringe starter, NHL starter, AHL starter, all that stuff. I kind of believe Gazzaniga is a fringe starter, but he's a solid backup. And he's at the right age, and he's okay with his role. Looking down the rest of it, we have Ryan Sessegnon on loan over at Hoffenheim in Germany. But we have Reguilon. We've transfer listed Danny Rose, and just before I started recording, when I got done with training, the 2 training drills I did, or 2 training sessions, I should say, Danny Rose, we got an offer from Everton, and we'll take a look at that. We got Ben Davies. We have a young player, Dennis Sirkin, who looks to be pretty solid, but we did get him out on loan. Center backs, really we have Dyer and Outer Weireld. Now that Jan Vertonghen is gone to Benfica. Then we have Davison Sanchez, who is actually going to be starting this team. And then we also are converting Moussa Sissoko down to a center back because he is starting to decline. And this will improve his longevity a little bit as a center back, considering we don't really have any backups after Dyer. So if something happens to Dyer, Outer Weireld, or Sanchez, we're down to Tanganga or Joe Rodon. So we want some more center backs in the team. And Toby Alderweireld is 31 years old, so we're not looking to replace him yet, but we could definitely use some help in that area. Davison Sanchez is near max potential. Eric Dyer, I think, will go up 1 or 2 more. So we definitely could use a strengthening of that other cornerback position. Right back is probably our weakest position on the team besides defensive midfield, which we'll get into in a second. Serge Aurier, 27, and then they brought in Matt Doherty from Wolves. And in real life, I'm sure he's a great player. But in the game, he's a right wing back first. It takes him 67 weeks to become a regular right back. It is absolutely crazy and annoying that is the case. And he actually, when he starts at right back, just right back, he has a -1. So it's great. So we've actually changed all the positions to a right wing back, but that also hurts Serge Aurier. So it's like, oh, great, this is fun. Then we have George Marsh. It's likely he won't be on the team either. We are actually just transferring him out. Actually, I didn't mean to put him on loan. Moving up into the defensive midfield role, we have a lot of midfielders. Central midfield is stacked on this team. So Sissoko is moving out of this group. He's moving to a central center back role. Then we have Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, excellent player from Southampton. I like him a lot, but he is definitely a defensive midfielder, and that's why we still run the 4-2-3-1. We have Jamie Bowden, who I put on loan, Harvey White, who I put on loan, and then you have Harry Winks, who is another great young prospect on this team, and that's why Sissoko was so expendable to move out of the DM role, because we have Harry Winks there. On the wings, the left wing, first off, we have Son and Bergwijn. We also are moving Jack Clark, a young prospect, over to the left because he's right-footed. I like opposites, as I know a lot of people do. And then we have just some standard central midfielders. We have Gedson Fernandez on loan from Sporting, Portugal. We have Lo Celso, who we bought, who we are converting to a cam. And then we have Ndombele, who can play every position, but is best as a central midfield. Again, that's why I have the 4-4-1, 4-4-1-1 out there. Cams, we only have one right now. It's Dele Alli. And I think we have an interesting kind of idea about Tottenham. Dele Alli, when Jose Mourinho came into Tottenham, and I'll admit I'm not a massive Tottenham fan. I like Tottenham as far as the big six clubs go, but I root for Crystal Palace first, Everton second, because of the American players that played at Everton, Tim Howard and the like, and then also Crystal Palace came to the United States and played my local club, so I do have an affinity toward Crystal Palace because I got to meet Wilfred Zaha and Christian Benteke was on the team at the time. I think he was a brand new signing. Very exciting for me. So I have an affinity for Crystal Palace at the end of the day. But I do like Tottenham, and I do follow Tottenham quite a bit when I have the opportunity to. And Jose Mourinho came in, and Dele Alli was like, lighten it up. And then toward the end, when the break came out, and when we went through the quarantine, it didn't really click again, in my opinion. And then all of a sudden, he's kind of fallen out of favor. I think Dele Alli's last days are coming at Tottenham in real life. Tottenham, he's rumored to go to PSG as of the time of this recording. Tottenham won a firm bid. They don't want to loan him out. And we'll have to see what we're going to do with Dele Alli. All right, looking at our right wingers, we have Jack Clark, who we're moving to left. Then we have Eric Lamela and Lucas Moura. Lucas is pretty good. And then we also have Gareth Bale, who I know it's a nostalgia thing, and everybody's like, oh, Gareth's back. Yes, awesome. And Gareth is a great player. But he's just simply not needed. He is not going to be purchased in this career mode. Lucas Moura, Bergwijn, Lamela even though Lamela is, toward the peak of his career, are all serviceable at the same level as Gareth Bale. And as much as I actually like Gareth Bale and the things he's done for Wales and Real Madrid and Tottenham when he was here before, I just don't see him being a part of our future plan, especially for the money that Real Madrid want for him when I looked into it. And then our final position is striker. We only have two. Vinicius, who's on loan, and then we have Harry Kane. And then we also have two young players out on loan. We have Casillas Sterling down at Southend United down in League One, and Troy Parrott down at Millwall, which is in the same area, not in the same neighborhood, but the same area of London as Tottenham. So he's right on loan down there, and he's played in the Premier League. But he needs some time out there getting some experience. Vinicius is an interesting player. I like him. He could be a player we end up keeping. I don't know yet. But we'll see how the season goes forward. So that's the quick and short of it, of the team. Transfers, we are going to use the global transfer network. Nobody seems to use this one at all. But these are the scouts that came with the team. I mean, we had some great scouts. 4 5-star scouts and a 4-star scout all were available to us right at the start. And that's pretty crazy when you think about it. And then I hired an Aiden Livingston, and you can see we're in Italy, we're in Portugal, we're in France, we're in England, Germany, and Spain. Instructions-wise, this is a promising prospect one. These players, they have to, I think the game caps it or minimizes it 80 overall potential, maybe 81, and they have to be actually young, even though it says 16 to 50. We won't see any 33-year-olds coming into this list. Any position first team quality playmaker was a position that was already added in when I started. I don't know if we'll actually be looking for anybody in there, but it's interesting to keep that on there. Center back is a position we're looking for. First team quality one. Defensive mid is one I added. Fullback's one I added. And then this one is a free contract searcher. This is any player that's actually that says 16 to 23. So that's actually not what we want. We want 23 to 37. There we go. That are basically going to be eligible for free. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep it on that low one because I kind of remember why I was doing that now. And that's so I could see all the prospects out there. And then, last but not least, our youth staff, we're given a 5-star scout to start out with. It's amazing. And then we threw him in England, and we already had a few players on the list here. I've already gotten rid of any player that was below 75 max potential. I did keep Ferry on there because I'm moving him over to a different position, so I don't know if his potential will adjust at all. But he will likely be one of our guys out, as well as El Basser. Both those guys could literally be released anytime. But we do have some good prospects in there. Very exciting. Finances, you can see that here's what I spent on the scouting network, £2.64 million. Yes, we're going to use the British pound in this career mode, even though I do all my transactions in the US dollar, but it is what it is. So budget, I like to keep this on 80%. So 77 million ish is what we have to work with there. And then let's take a look at the objectives. Youth development is high. In fact, out of the Premier League, Tottenham and Arsenal are the only two clubs that have high or medium or high in every, at least medium and high in every category. I think Arsenal may have one more critical than we do at the beginning. Now, these do change every season, but we're going to hit all these goals, or try to at least. Youth Academy, they want us to have one player signed in the Youth Academy in the first season. So we have to find somebody in the first season and then play in half the games next season. Yikes. That's a difficult one. Brand exposure, win 7 games at home, and then sign 3 players from Europe, which we will definitely be doing, I'm sure. Financial, this is a medium priority, but they want us to reduce wages by £135,000 per week. Well, I can tell you what we could do real quick. Get rid of Gareth Bale, get rid of Danny Rose, and I think we're pretty much there. Domestic success is they want us to finish in a UEFA Champions League spot and win the FA Cup. And then continental success, they want us to win the Europa League. So not exactly the easiest thing in the world to do. So that's basically our a rundown of our team, our interests, our objectives, and what we have to do this season and what I plan on doing. Now, Everton, coming back to that, they've offered a transfer fee of £6.5 million for Danny Rose. Our scout says that we could do 7.1. All right, guys, we've gotten through the middle of the summer. I got through all the training as I move my mic a little bit closer here. Got through everything through the midseason. Nothing really happened that you guys missed out on during that entire time. We did, however, sell George Marsh to Blackburn. I got £680,000 for him, so not a lot of money, but he's not going to be somebody we're going to use. He could fit in great at Blackburn as a solid player for that team for a few years or many years, depending on where they end up in their career. Blackburn, it'd be great to see Blackburn back in the Premier League. But we're going to attend our first press conference, and I will warn you that the manager generation is difficult to get right, so this doesn't look like Ledley King, but I did the best I could with what I had. His face is just not long enough. If you take the beard off, it doesn't look anything close to him, but it looks respectable, I will say, of his likeness. So how was the preseason? Prepared you for the real thing? I believe in these players. A lot of people are talking about your team at the moment. They expect you to see you qualify for the Champions League. I think we are good enough to do that. And then transfer market, they always ask these questions, and we're happy with the squad. We haven't really looked at anybody yet. Obviously, we got some scouts out scouting. We'll take a look at that after the Leeds game. But our first month of the season, what my plan for this series is to play 1 month per episode. Now, with December and January and some of those congested fixtures in those 2 months, it probably will be 2 episodes. But for the most part, we're looking at 1 episode per month. So our first month of the season looks to be pretty good in our favor. Leeds, a newly promoted team. Crystal Palace, a mid-table team. Man United, who knows? And then Wolves, a fringe Europa League team that we have upcoming. So I expect to come out of this month with at least 7 points. Hopefully, I mean, it wouldn't be unsuspected to come out with 12. And maybe even, 9 points would be okay too. If we can beat Wolves or Man United and lose to the other one. But we're not trying to lose any of these games. The other strategy is that I'm doing to get through these games a little bit quicker and also to kind of balance out my tactical skills versus the game itself, and that could be against me, is I'm only going to play every other fixture, or every 2 fixtures and then off 2 for the first 19 games. The second 19 games, I will play the games that against the teams that I did not play in the first set of games, which will set us up for a little bit of a unique experience as far as the season goes. Now, I will make one observation here. We have 2 home games to start the season off, 3 home games in the first month before the international break that comes at the beginning of September, which, again, is 4 games. Europa League is just like real life, although it is me being a little bit of a nerd about stats and lineups and, just objectively good groups. I do have a slightly different Europa League group. Lask and Royal Antwerp are in the group that Spurs are in, but Sanderjeski is the replacement for the other team because they're not in the game. So Sanderjeski was a Europa League team. They were eliminated by the team that actually made it into this group, so as a fitting replacement in the second qualifying round. So Sanderjeski is our other team. That will be where we'll play a lot of our young players to start out with. But Leeds run a 4-1-4-1 in this game. So do we want to go with the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-4-1-1 midfield? So I think we're going to go with the standard lineup, which is our 4-4-1-1. Everybody had a good preseason. And, let's get into the first game of the year. There you see their team. It is a pretty good team. Matt Phillips in the middle there as the defensive holding. They have Klit a little bit further back, and then Hernandez up further on the pitch. They have Rafina and Harrison. Harrison played in the MLS, so I've seen him play a few times when he was with New York City FC. So it should be a pretty fun game, but let's get into it. Football is back. It is back. It is good to be back, and we are right in the middle of it. I already showed you the lineups. Those are projected lines. I have seen those change a few times, so it doesn't necessarily mean that this is what we're going to get. But Ledley King taking over as manager. Everybody in their shorts, I think, or very pixelatedly bad pants, I'm not sure, at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And this should be a real... All right, I had to fix my camera. I had it on a different camera mode than I'm used to, and it was very awkward. So for those wondering, I run tele broadcast, which I find to be a pretty solid view mode. Harrison in, and Aurier with a great play. Oh, and hard hit there, and Rafina already in. I am using some mods. So Paul 2K4, I'll have links down at the bottom of the video, has come out with a gameplay mod, which makes this... Oh, we got Son in. We'll pick that up in just a second. Son. Oh, and that's a foul on Cook. And Cook has taken Son out, and that's a yellow card. Denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity, and we will set up for a penalty. Do we let Son take it? Or do we give it to Harry Kane? We're going to give it to Harry Kane and try to get our first goal of the season. And it's in. And it's 1-0 Tottenham within the first 5 minutes of the game, or first 10 minutes of the game. Harry Kane puts it through on penalty. And we'll see this. Castello didn't even move. That thing was going in a hurry. So Harry Kane up first, 7th minute, and we are up 1-0. But anyway, Paul 2K4, he's got a great career mode, which really, really helps out some of the transfers. I've ran several simulations with several different teams, and you guys know how it is. It's not as bad. Honestly, the default AI transfer is not that bad compared to years past when you saw, Man United stack up a bunch of strikers because Zlatan was retiring. So they have to replace him, and then they just go out and sign 20 different strikers. So that's not there anymore. Son's in. Little dip there. And Ayling gets a foul, and we're going to get another free kick on the edge of the box. But he has fixed that. He's fixed the budgets. Tottenham Hotspur's budget was something like £120 million. He's taking that down to like 80. League One teams, League Two teams, not nearly as much money. Makes it a lot more difficult, a lot more fun, a lot more realistic. And you also get a bigger chunk of that Premier League payout at the end of the year. It's very frustrating when you get a newly promoted team. Son in. Lo Celso. Deli. And Rodrigo on the break. Very frustrating when you're a newly promoted team, you manage to stay up, or you don't get any of that cash from staying from managing to win the championship. You get like a $2 million increase in your $5 million budget. Well, that's not the case anymore. And Son with a powerful run. And Harry Kane has made it 2-0 in the first 20 minutes. Leeds are on the back foot already. And Harry Kane up to 2 goals. He's got a brace early on in the game. But this is a beautiful goal. Son kicks it forward. He's going to grab an assist on this, I believe. No, he won't. That was deflected. And Castello really was out of his element, came way out of the box. And that's just an easy little chip in by Harry Kane. A lot of front spin on that ball. Holy cow. And that's 2 goals to start the season off. But anyway, definitely check out those mods. He has a full list of features, better scouting, which is why I'm testing out the GTN. I think it's a really good mod, but I do want to say that EA Sports has come a lot further. Now, the other part of this mod is the gameplay mod, and that means we actually have AI fouling and AI crossing. That's right. One of the biggest issues this year has been the lack of AI crossing. And another goal. It's a hat trick, and it's 23 minutes in, and we've already gotten ourselves a hat trick. Unbelievable Harry Kane. And honestly, guys, I don't see any reason to keep playing this one. Let's go ahead and sim rest the match till at least halftime, and we are going to get our final substitution in. But yeah, Paul 2K4, he's been around the modding community for so long, and he does such a great job. Underrated, and just does a really well put out mod. His gameplay mod is top notch. Is it perfect? No. I mean, there is a lot of aggressive fouling, but you see there a great cross in by one of my players, Son to Kane, and you can already see that this is working very well. And he's made things more difficult, so highly rated goalkeepers are better at saving and make less mistakes. Oh, another good shot on goal. And things like that. And it really balances out the game quite a bit. The unfortunate thing is, if, it is aggressive and there are injuries because of the aggression. But it's fun overall, and I really enjoy playing with the mods. But I'll have links down there on how to get that set up, how to get that going in the description there. But right now, Tottenham doing a great job. Even without me, they've nearly scored. And that's going to do it for the first half. A hat trick for Kane, 2 regular goals, and a penalty. And we also have Robin Cook with a yellow card to start the game off. And honestly, guys, I think it's time to let Viniscus come in. We can bring in Lucas Moura. And let's bring in Davies. So not a big change around. Actually, I'm going to leave Bale in, and I'm going to bring out Son. We don't need Son in the game at this point. So we'll go ahead and resume this one. I'm not jumping to result, and the reason being is I found that there are some bugs with jumping to result, such as the game decides to substitute more than 3. So if you make a substitution, one substitution, they will still substitute. Sometimes they'll substitute nobody. And then sometimes they'll substitute 3 more. So if I do 3 subs and we're up 4-0, Viniscus gets on the board, and this game has already gone to the watershed for Leeds United in their debut in the Premier League. And I've seen that happen with regular EA. As far as I know, Paul did not modify any of the quick match or the quick match simulations, but that is something that he is working on, like he did for FIFA 20. Where it seemed like in the FIFA 20 and previously, where, every time you simulated a game, if you were the home team, you had a good chance of winning. And if you're the away team, you pretty much knew you were going to draw or lose. It really sucked. And there was like no cards and no injuries and no substitutions. And that was all fixed, but he has not gotten to that point this year with this mod. But I expect it'll come soon. So right now, we're just kind of hanging out. This is just an amazing game. 5-0 at the first game of the season. Unbelievable how well we are doing in this game. 1-0 is a win, right? At the end of the day. But we are doing such a great job. And we did foul there, 82nd minute, and again, a good break. And we're on the break again. Lucas Moura is in, and Lucas Moura has made it 6-0. Holy cow. Holy cow. It doesn't matter if I'm playing or if the computer's playing. Leeds are in a world of trouble. Now, I do play on Legendary. I don't play with any sliders or anything like that, just the Paul 2K4 mod. But that doesn't really affect this at all. In fact, as far as I know, the sim engine actually is not affected by your status, your skill level at all. So we are dominating. We get a 6-0 win to start off our Premier League campaign. We allowed 2 shots and just 1 shot on target for Leeds, 1 chance. And we had 9 and 6, including 6 goals. Unbelievable start to the season for us. So big win for us here. And Eric Lamello did come to me and wanted to play, but I forgot to put him in, but it's okay. And then Viniscus getting a good job, and he's hoping we'll give him more matches. And we do have him on loan, but he had a great game. But we'll see how he does in our next games here. All right, here we go. Crystal Palace is our next team up. There's Harry Kane. He scored a hat trick last time out. What a game for him. And today we have Crystal Palace, another home game for us. The last game we'll be playing on this episode. Kane already is off to a good start for the season. Oh my gosh. Schulp just went in hard on Lucas Moura. And then Lucas Moura Zaha. Wow, Zaha going in hard. You want to talk about a player that's literally holding and keeping their team up? It's Wilfried Zaha. Wilfried Zaha does more for Crystal Palace than I think people realize. Oh, son, he's through, boys. He's through. We got Hennessy in goal, and Hennessy somehow saves it. And I should have fake shotted him. Oh, Wickham nearly got a goal on us. That was close. Here he is. He's wide open. Nobody picked him up for good reason. Apparently, Connor Wickham, nothing going there. We're off to a good start. I'm not going to lie. Doing very well in this game. Harry Kane in. Oh, finesse. And Hennessy has come up with 2 massive saves already in this game. I just hope it's not for naught, because Crystal Palace, they have Wilfried Zaha, they have Batshuayi, they have a youngster, Abriki Idzi, who is just on the ball, Jordan Ayew. Any of those guys could just step up all of a sudden and just score. Wow, what a save by Lurie. Aurier clears it. Not a great clearance. Ndombele with not a great clearance. Delhi tracking back. And is it Crystal Palace's turn? And there it is. I saw that was going to happen because our defense, they just don't man mark. They just don't man mark whatsoever. This is an easy goal for Jordan Ayew. I mean, here we go. Watch right over here on your right side. Nobody picks him up. Davison Sanchez is just standing there. No, that's Ndombele. Why was he in the box? Why is Ndombele the guy in the box? No, that wasn't Ndombele. I couldn't tell. I think it was Ndombele that was in the box and just gave up a stupidly easy goal. All you had to do was step up 2 inches from where you were standing doing nothing, and you would have not given up that goal. Pretty easy from where I'm sitting. And we're going to get a corner out of this. Somebody win a freaking header, guys. Oh, that's a penalty. That's a penalty on Sacco. And we are going to get another penalty shot. And this was a bad challenge right in the back of the heel on Ndombele. Roy Hodgson can't believe it. And Harry Kane will step up to take on Will Hennessy, who's been unstoppable. You gotta be kidding me. You know those games when you just know you're not going to get it? This is one of those games. I feel like we're just not going to get it at all. Oh, Batshuayi came in hard, but somehow didn't take Harry Kane down, unfortunately. No way anybody's getting to that, but of course Zaha will chase it down. As sure as I say that. Batshuayi in. And that's the problem with Palace. Palace can be such a up and down team. If they want to play, they'll play good. And that's how they are in real life. I mean, that is the thing. But Wayne Hennessy is not going to save that kind of penalty from Harry Kane. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen like that. And McCarthy is not going to bully Harry Kane off the ball like that. Really should be about 3-1 in this game. Instead, it's 1-0 them. Probably going to do it for the first half. It does. 1-0. Not a good look. All right, back at it here in the second half. And we've got to finish our chances. And I don't know what that's going to take. But what we're doing right now is not helping, giving the ball away like that. We have time. We do have time. Oh, I went for a slide tackle and the action wasn't canceled. So he punts it out of bounds. Really annoying that the game does that. That should be out of bounds. Yep. Zaha runs through the awning. That's how good Zaha is. He can just break through the awning. And that was a terrible pass. A very bad pass. What in the hell was that? Alderweireld has to step up and not concede here. And we're going to get the ball back. That was a god-awful pass by Alderweireld. What was he doing there? That was a very, very easy pass. All you had to do was shift it down pitch. Oh my gosh. Harry Kane gets tripped up. That might be a yellow card for Sacco. They're not going to give it to him. Should have been a yellow card for Sacco. He should have been sent off for that challenge. Yeah, he should have been sent off. 100%. Send him off. And they're making their first substitution. We're not far behind. Is this a good spot for Harry Kane? Oh! Just off to the left. All right, we're making our first substitution. Let's bring in Doherty for Aurier, who hasn't been all that good against Zaha. Doherty is a little bit stronger than Aurier. Not as quick, but is stronger and might help us out just a little bit in containing Zaha, who has been all over the pitch. Dele, great play. Just gets tripped up at the end. It's so frustrating that these players in this game just get tripped up so easily. Or at least the AI of the computer, the user players get tripped up. The computer players don't get tripped up at all. There's Zaha doing whatever he was doing there. Sacco is pretty strong, so I'll give him some credit there. Get it back, outer Alderweireld. Lo Celso. Son, Dele. He's in! We got a goal, 84th minute, but we finally got a goal in this game that we deserve to be winning. Holy cow, we nearly lost this ball right there, and then Dele finds some space, and nobody picks him up. Huge goal. It is 1-1. I didn't think we were going to score. I didn't think we were going to do it, and we finally got it done. Wayne Hennessy has been beaten. 84th minute, final substitution. And I think what I'm going to do is be aggressive on this. Well, that seems a little too aggressive. What I was thinking is bringing out Ndombele and bringing in a better shooter. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Actually, Højbjerg's better all around in that position. So he's a little out of position, but he's still good enough to play it. So Højbjerg will be the guy. And that's going to do it. Oh, that's going to do it. We should be booed. We should be booed for that game. We should have won this game. There is no doubt in my mind we were the better team in this game, and we had to settle for a draw at home against one of our London rivals. Dele Alli rescues a point. Harry Kane was not good in this game. Son was not good. Both of those failed to convert on chances. And hopefully that draw doesn't come back to bite us. All right, getting into the post-match press conference here. Your team looked beaten, but that late goal saved you. Was the draw deserved? That's probably good enough. We need to, we got good players or whatever. Having better players and inform, sell for a draw. What did you make of your team's performance? You have to learn you can never relax. I like the mixed message one, but it also just kind of isn't worth it. So unless I'm really mad, I probably won't use that option. But all right, so 2 games down, and we got 4 points. That puts us in 7th place. As the start of the season goes, as you can see, Arsenal doing pretty good, our rival, at the top with just 2 wins. But it's early. It's early days. All right, first big game, even though we drew with Palace, Man United is our biggest game so far this year. We're going to make a couple changes. We're actually going to go defensive in this game. That means Højbjerg and Winks are going to come in. On the right side, I think we'll go with Bale in this game. Winks is not 100% ready to go, but we'll just have to deal with it. And then we're going to convert this over to a wing back so Doherty doesn't lose. It's very stupid. I'm sorry. That is one thing I don't like about this game is that. Like, why? Why did I change him to a wing back to do the exact same thing I have to go over here and do my my changes. But yeah, I like this lineup. Lo Celso can come off the bench if need be. And then I think we'll put... Actually, I'm good with that. I'm good with that lineup all the way around. Oh, wait, do I have a backup DM? Yeah, and Ndombele can play DM. All right. So let's get into this game. You can see what they're lined up with. Cavani, Rashford, Fernandez, James, Wan-Bissaka, Fred, Van de Beek, Lindelof, Bailly, and Alex Telles with De Gea in goal. So pretty solid team we're going up against here. And let's see how it goes. Man United, Tottenham Hotspur. Jose Mourinho taking on his former team. Man United on the attack. Ball in, missed by Van de Beek. We haven't really done much of anything yet. This is our first game with the 4-2-3-1 since preseason. Why I'm going with that formation is, number one, it's sometimes good to match like for like. They're running a 4-2-3-1. We'll run a 4-2-3-1, and they miss. That was Cavani. I think he's number 7. Yes, he is number 7. Ooh, Deli. But, it makes it a little bit more difficult on them to try to score in the game. Not looking for a draw, but we are away from home. And Lo Celso was down on stamina. Rashford with a shot saved by Lloris. So I just felt like it was probably a good time to whip out the formation. And a bad pass. I think that was a pass to Doherty from Lloris. I thought it was a good time to whip out the formation. Right now, we're getting pummeled. Let's look at the stats. 81-19. 4 shots, 3 on target, and we haven't taken 1 shot in this game. But I'm going to try to stick to my house rules and not jump in and intervene. Right now, we're doing good. Oh, my goodness. That header hit off the bar, it looked like. All right, guys, let's go. And we, of course, give it away on our first real opportunity. Rashford streaking down the sideline. Doherty not quick enough to deal with him, but he can out-physical him. Forces him to give it up, and a good clearance out. Harry Kane's got the ball, but he's got nobody around him. Deli's moving. Kane, Doherty, good play. Let's get somebody in the box and a good cross in, and we're going to get a corner, first corner of the game. And deflected out. And Davison Sanchez, I guess, could not hold on to the ball and gives it up. And that's going to do it, I believe, for halftime. Any second now. Clearing out. And that is halftime. Look at the stats, guys. 74%, 5 shots, 4 chances. 26%, 0-0. Not good. Let's get in the second half. Kick it ahead. Son is wide open. Kick it out to Son. There you go. My goodness. Back to Son. Aurier to Son. Son loses it. Wan-Bissaka was all over him. Why was that pass made? I don't know. 88th minute. It is looking like a 0-0 game right now. And they're on the break, so let's go defensive. I don't want to close up shop, and that's it. There ain't much to report on this game. 1 shot in this game for us. Abysmal is the only word I got to say with our performance in this game. All right, so we're back. Did a little bit more training, and I just wanted to look at all the players we have on international duty. We have 3 English, 1 French, 1 Dutch, 1 Belgium, 1 Denmark, 1 Irish, 3 Welsh right now. That's pretty crazy. We have probably half their team. I'm kidding. Lo Celso at Argentina, Brazil, Mora, Colombia, and then we have Serge Aurier at Ivory Coast. I mean, that is a pretty good little lineup of international players, in my opinion. Yeah, let's get in the game and see what happens here. Final game of the month of August against Wolves, a fringe Europa League team who are very dangerous. Very dangerous. Raul Pondence, Moutinho, of course, Diogo Jota now at Liverpool. We have Doherty, obviously. He's playing against his old team. In real life, Raul Jimenez out, and that team has not looked the same without Raul Jimenez. Although I think Fabian Silva is going to be a good player. He looked very strong. He just couldn't get on the end of the ball. He didn't have that clinical finishing. But he's only 18 years old. I don't think anybody expects him to be a dominant force at an 18-year-old. I mean, he was brought in to basically spell Jimenez, and that was about it. Now I think that plan kind of backfired. I think they're relying too much on the 18-year-old, and they probably should bring in somebody, like kind of like what Barcelona did. Oh, we got a goal. Son on the board first. I think that's his first goal or second goal of the season. But Barcelona brought in Martin Braithwaite as an emergency striker. He's actually ended up playing quite a bit. And he's actually done pretty well. And I think the Wolves should do something like that in January. But we'll see what happens. Or get somebody on loan. Doing good on the break. I thought 7 points was realistic from this game, which would meant basically beating Crystal Palace and Leeds, and then basically drawing against Wolves or Man United and losing against one of those two teams. Didn't expect to draw against Crystal Palace. A little bit disappointed about that game. Draw against Man United on the road is fine. I think, anytime you go to a team, a top 6 team, a big 6 club, and you draw in their stadium, you would love to win every game, obviously, but that's unrealistic. You always want to draw games at away games rather than lose them. If it's between losing and drawing, you always take the draw, obviously. But, at home, you can kind of go for it. In real life, you have the crowd behind you. Of course, not now, but, it's a little bit different of a situation. But everybody else looking pretty good. Now, this is Bergwijn's first. Ooh, no, come on. Yeah, we're going to have to make a substitution. And it's going to have to be Lucas Moura as first. I think that's where I want to go right now. So if we win this game, we'll have 8 points, which is, I think, pretty good for the games we had. If we lose this game, we would have 6 points, or 5 points. And if we draw this game, we'll have 6 points. Going to go ultra attacking. I know that's aggressive, but now we're going ultra attacking. There we go. Come on, get on the break, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Question mark. Harry Kane. And we're in. And we get a goal. It's Lo Celso from Harry Kane. And we are up 2-1 in the 87th minute against Wolves at home. And that's going to do it. Huge game. And we are going to grab our 3 points to end the month of August. That's huge for us. Danny Rose coming up. He says, good to see you. It's great. Things are going so well for me and the team. I don't think I've ever enjoyed football. I'm happy the club is wondering if it might be good to talk about renewing our contract. You have been sold, Danny Rose. You are no longer a Tottenham Hotspur player. When the window opens, you're going to Everton. What in the hell, man? That was so dumb. Like, why is he giving me a message? I don't know. But anyway, guys, that is the final game of August, which means that's the final game of the episode. Kind of take a look and see where we're at here in the table. And we are currently sitting in 6th place. Wolves had 3 wins and 1 loss to us. We went 2-2, and then you have some teams up at the top. Liverpool went undefeated. Man City, Arsenal, and Man United all had just 1 draw. Brighton doing pretty good. 2 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. So a lot to play for yet. And we're going to go ahead and preview our next month, our next episode, and take a look at what we got coming up. So we had the international break, obviously. So that's going to be 2 weeks of training and things like that. Then we'll play Liverpool. Then we have a Thursday game against Sandrzewski. I haven't decided yet, but I think we'll be playing the away legs, but I don't know. We have a 2-day break, and then we have West Ham, and then a 2-day break, and then we have Stoke City. So this is going to be a great opportunity for our youngsters to get involved in the game and see what they can do. And then we'll finish the month out with Aston Villa at Aston Villa. So that's going to be our month of September. And guys, I really appreciate you watching the video. If you've enjoyed it, if you liked it, leave a comment, subscribe, like, do all the stuff. It helps me out so much. And until next time, guys,